I'm Depke from Depke Wellness, and what I want to get into today is something that I've recognized by just doing a little Q&A on social media, is that what scares you the most is neurodegeneration. Now, you don't think of it as neurodegeneration, you think of it as like developing dementia, Alzheimer's, maybe ALS, just any combination of neurodegenerative issues as you get older. And that's what really frightens most people, is that you just lose the capacity to think, to comprehend, to memorize, and maybe even to the extreme of recognizing people. And you know what, this is a huge impact on me too, because honestly in my history, my grandmother died with severe dementia, my mother died with severe dementia, and my brother died with ALS. So I can remember watching my mom, who spent the last 15 months of her life in a hospital bed in the living room of my house that I grew up in, and my dad feeding her baby food and actually changing her diapers. They're literally having no communication with her anymore at that point. And you know what really sucks about that is it most likely could have been prevented. And for most people who develop neurodegenerative issues, it could have been prevented. And even from the perspective with this, when I was younger, I used to have epilepsy. I used to have grand mal seizures. So you basically, when you have a seizure, and hopefully very few people watching this have ever experienced it, but when you have a seizure, basically you become unconscious, you black out, you hit the ground wherever you're at that point, you basically flip around like a fish out of water, and honestly, when you wake up from that, because of the neuromuscular activity of the seizure, you literally wake up feeling like you just got run over by a truck. Now, I guess honestly, I've never been run over by a truck, but I don't know exactly what that feels like, but I can imagine that's what it would feel like. So even for myself, I'm a part of that history of neurological issues. Now, thankfully for me, and which I like this to be not just for me but for everybody, I was able to overcome the seizure disorder by just addressing naturally what's going on in my life. So years ago, and it's kind of an interesting story that you'll probably be able to put this into your life on some level. When I had the seizures initially, I was initially told that it was just a one-time occurrence, it'll never happen again. Then I had another, and both times I had every test known to conventional medicine, and they basically said that, oh well, everything is showing up normal, but you're still having seizures, so they put me on an anticonvulsant medication. And I continue to have seizures even on anticonvulsant, but I recognize, through my own research, that anticonvulsant that I was on would potentially lead to further neurodegenerative issues. I was like, wait a minute, what a bunch of crap is that? I actually already have a neurological issue, and I'm going to take something that potentially actually will lead into further neurodegenerative problems. So that's when I started to do all the research and make the changes in my life. And to make this long story short, I addressed everything I needed to get my body back into balance. And I don't have seizures. I don't take medications for seizures. I haven't in a number of decades, and I'm not worried about having another seizure the rest of my life because I took care of what caused it. So what I'm going to address as we go through this week is different things that can actually lead to and cause neurodegenerative issues, to give you some lifestyle tips and some necessary protocols if you happen to be one of those, like literally millions of people who one of their greatest fears is neurodegenerative issues. So I look forward to sharing more this week, and we're going to get to the bottom of this, and tomorrow I'm going to start by teaching some very simple, easy, and effective tips that you could use just to stimulate your neurological system. All right, everybody, I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.